Hi guys, I'm back. I just recorded a video. It took me an hour and 45 minutes to get through the message, and then my video cut off. And there's an urgency to me posting this video tonight, so I'm redoing it because I don't have the time to wait to upload that long of a video and as well cut and paste it with another video. So I'm just going to redo the whole thing. I'm going back in to read what I had pertaining to some channels from the other day. And my glasses need to be... I got a smudge on my glasses, sorry. Okay, I'm just going to jump into what I have because I've just spent a lot of time putting that video together, and I just want to get this message out because there's a lot of, like I said, urgency to it. I do hope you guys are doing well. I know it's been a little while. For those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Melina Landrio. Thank you for sharing space with me today. On May 30th, 317 could be significant. I received a name. I believe the name was Agatha. But I was getting so much information so fast at the same time that I didn't focus on the name as much as I focused on the rest of the information. So I'm not 100% certain of that. A name that begins with the letter T could also be significant. So water spirits came to mind after a vision of a woman coming knocking on my door. And she was wearing like a dark blue uniform style jacket. And it had two pinstripes along like the top part of the coat. Now, one of the pinstripes could be like a red-orange color, and the other was a bit paler in comparison. Maybe it was a yellow or a white in the color. These could be reflective stripes as well for safety purposes. And in this dream, there was a knock on my door, and the whole family, or there was a knock on the door, and this family scattered. It appeared like this knock at the door came as a surprise. And when I peered through the door, there was a woman standing there. And she was younger than me, and she had olive skin. She was somewhat tall and maybe lanky, and her eyes were very pretty and intriguing at the same time. She had something in her hands. It was some form of documentation, something in writing, something that she needed to communicate that was in her hands. And as I looked out my door, her eyes looked at me to show me that she saw me. It was almost like we immediately, like as I was looking, it was like she sensed I was there and went like that. And when I thought about what I visioned with her looking at me, it was like she was shifting into this water spirit energy. She reminded me of a barbot. Not that she was ugly like a barbot, but it's a catfish. It's because her lips became really big. And then her eyes, which were really beautiful, just kind of went like this, and her eyelashes really came out. And it just reminded me of a fish, this type of fish, which made me think water spirit. And in the dream, I had opened the door to say, I'm sorry that you didn't have an appointment. And then I woke up. So literally that afternoon, after I had this dream, a man came knocking on my door. And it was a neighbor. And he was asking me to look at some receipt of something. Now, this is a neighbor that I don't know. Like, it's somebody that I know as a neighbor because I've seen them around. I know they live in a specific area of my neighborhood, but I don't know them. I've never formally been introduced. I don't know who they are. And so they came to my door and they wanted to show me something, and they wanted me to look at something, and I did. And so this could be relevant. Like, somebody's neighbor could be relevant in regards to what I expressed with my dream, and then somebody physically coming and knocking at the door. It could be a man or a woman could be relevant in regards to this. And it's somebody that you don't know. It's somebody that you may have seen. They might look familiar, but you don't actually know them. And it's like you've only seen them from a distance. Now, the interesting thing is, when I had this on May 30th, the number sequences that I saw were 1, 2, 3, 4. I saw that twice. 2, 3, 4. I saw twice, and 1, 4, 4. Now today, like I just said, I tried to do this message, and let me just get this up here. Why isn't it opening? For some reason, June 1st is showing up. Why is it not opening? Oh, there it is. Okay. So literally today, I tried to record this message, and like I said, it messed up. And then we're waiting to like transfer some of my videos to be able to get more space to do this video. And literally, as I'm starting this message, it's 11:23. So definitely something is on its way. Something is it's in flow, and it's necessary to do. Okay, I'm getting an urgency about this video, like I had said. So let me just get back into the channel. So on June 1st, I had a dream that I was walking on the side of a pathway that was next to a body of water. And there was trees between the body of water and myself, but it was like a thin brush. And then on the right, there was more trees. And it was like there was maybe a slope or a hill on my left. On my left, there was like a slope or a hill, and on my right was the water in the direction that I was walking. And I'm walking with my daughter, my youngest daughter. I'm walking with my daughter, and we're walking on this sidewalk. And the sidewalk, the asphalt looked like it was newly paved. It was really smooth, and it was that really dark asphalt that you see when it's a fresh walkway. And as I'm walking on it, I'm noticing that it's slippery. And when I'm looking at it, it's like, you know, when it rains and the asphalt gets wet and then it starts to dry, and it dries in patches. Some patches look lighter where it's dry, and then the wet spots stay, right? As I'm walking this pathway in my dream, some of it's dry and some of it's wet, spotted like that. And I'm noticing that it's slippery. And I don't know if it's because it's wet or if it's because it's near water. Like the specific type of water, it doesn't necessarily, I don't know if it's like a river. I don't know if it's an ocean. I don't know what kind of water it is. I just know the sand doesn't look like the sand, like the dirt that I'm seeing doesn't look like the dirt that I would see here in Ontario where I live. And I feel like that's pretty significant across the board. And I'm being told to speak upon the dirt, the way the dirt looks. So the dirt, it's like my hair color in a way. Like if I take my hair out here. So you can see there's like a darker brown color, and then there's like this light color. It's like a casting of like this dark brown color. It's like the perfect type of sand to make a sand castle. It's just enough moisture, but all the time. And it's not dry like sand, like white sand. It's dirt. And it's more golden brown, dark brown, rather than too dark of a brown. There's like a golden hue to it, if that makes any, if that's relevant, apparently. Anywho, so I'm walking down this path with my daughter, and I'm slipping, and she, for some reason, is not slipping at all, and she's walking ahead, and I'm telling her to wait up for me. And then all of a sudden, this pathway, it turned, oh yeah, sorry, where the sand is, there's like this rock. I'm seeing this big rock that you could sit on, and yeah, I feel like it's like you're walking, and it's not necessarily a beach, but it's like an area that the trees are thinned out more, and you can walk through, and it's very calm. It's an area where you could build or you could sit on like a beach. That's significant. Anyways, we keep walking and then we turn down this pathway. So I feel like what's relevant is that there could be at the top of this hill like a community, there could be housing, there could be some place where people go. I feel like it's a community, like it's an area where you could live. And as we're turning down that pathway, it looks like this old neighborhood that I used to live in. So this could be a place that you may have lived in about maybe a decade ago, 9 years ago, could be relevant. Somewhere you moved away from is relevant in regards to this channel. Because it's like I'm walking down this pathway and it seems like everything is very new and fresh. But then I turn down this pathway and I'm in this old neighborhood all of a sudden. Maybe that's relevant in some way, shape, or form that I can't comprehend. If this message is for you, you're going to know if it fits, okay? Now, as we're standing there walking, and it's like we're on our way home, there's a pickup truck. And I feel like it's being driven by a man, but I'm not necessarily seeing a man. I'm assuming it's a man driving it. Now, the truck color is bright red. And for some reason, I thought it was an F-150, except it didn't look like the F-150s you see today. It looks like an older version. So when I looked it up, it looks like it could be this car, like a 1991, because the front hood was flat, like in this truck. There's the side view of it and the interior of it. And that's what the interior felt like it looked like, although I didn't see the inside of the car. And the features of this car are power windows, power lock seatbelts, power steering, power brakes, fuel injection, front disc brakes. This is very relevant for whatever reason. Now, I don't know if this particular car is relevant, like that I'm looking up and I see that's been sold. But a 1990 classic Ford F-150 could be significant. And here's another vehicle I saw that kind of was relevant in regards to what I saw. So that's the car that we saw in my dream. And I'm walking with my daughter in this dream. And as we're walking, we see this car and this man is driving. And while he's driving this car, I see this lion and this tiger with him inside the car. And I'm looking, it's very weird, right? I'm seeing a lion and a tiger in with this man driving the vehicle. And when I'm looking at them, they look very unhappy, almost like they are very, like they're not fitting their body, like they're malnourished or something. And the tiger, I noticed, was really fixated on my daughter. It was like he was hyper fixated. Like if he could get out, he would attack her or he would eat her. And so we got really like anxious and scared in that moment. And we panicked and we just started to walk home really fast. And like we didn't know where these people were going in this truck, but they were in our neighborhood. This is what we understood in the dream. They were in our neighborhood. And this is an old neighborhood that I recognize from over 9 years ago, a decade ago. And it was almost as though we knew there was a time limit to get back before this tiger got out. There's a very eerie feeling in the dream component at this part of the dream. And then the more I thought about this, the more I looked like at what I visioned with the lion and with the tiger. It's like they didn't fill out their vessel properly. Like this could very well be a demonic spirit under like in hunter mode influencing two people or a person. And it's essentially trying to attack maybe younger children because it was really fixated on my daughter, maybe younger girls. So that's the dream I had. And June 2nd, I heard, like, that's today. Earlier today, I was tapping into the energy because I knew that there was a reading coming from it. Sorry, I'm trying to see, did I write? Yeah, sorry, before today, yesterday, last night, around 8:30ish, I sat down for the first time with my own thoughts. And I started to smell what I like in a little while. I smelled chemical, like the scent of a chemical, and I felt like it was bug spray. In particular, deep woods off bug spray could be significant and relevant, and I was smelling it really harshly. And from 8:30 till about 10 o'clock at night, I was continuously smelling this spray, but only in where I was sitting in that one spot in my home. When I went around everywhere else in my home, it didn't smell like bug spray. But when I sat in this one spot, this one location of my home, in the comfort of my home, in an area that I would go and sit, it just smelled, it reeked of bug spray. Now, I don't use bug spray. And if I did use it, I would not use that bug spray. Like from the 80s, from the 90s. I wouldn't use that. I would use a more organic, less smelly one because I don't like the smell. And when my partner came downstairs, I asked him, do you smell this like off bug spray smell? I said, do you smell this bug spray? And he's like, yeah, I'm smelling something. And he went downstairs and he felt like he smelt it a little bit downstairs. But I went downstairs and I didn't smell it at all. But I smelt it here. And then he came back up and he said, well, let me just switch spots with you. Maybe if you sit here, it'll be less, right? We put these big fans on to help remove the smell because we thought that maybe it was coming from outside. But when we opened the door, there was no smell of it outside. We thought we'd check the side. There was no smell of it outside. And it just didn't make sense. And when I changed seats, I didn't smell it anymore. But my partner sat where I sat, and he started to smell what he perceived as campfire. And that reminded me of going to a campfire and having that smell. My throat at this point was burning from smelling bug spray. But it was really, when he said the campfire, it triggered the reminder that, you know, when you sit with a campfire, for those of you who've sat in a campfire, around a campfire, you don't know where the wind's going to blow, right? And the wind sometimes blows the smoke at you and you inhale it. And it causes like inflammation in the throat. This could be very relevant, a campfire, inflammation in the throat, and bug spray. So yeah, like a heavy dose of bug spray. And that was my night last night for a few hours. So June 2nd, today, I was connecting into this energy and I heard the word illusionary. And then when I went into it, I was thinking, like, what does this mean? Like, is this all an illusion? And I got, no, it's not an illusion. It's something in this understanding, in this story. This is all of these little stories that I'm sharing with you, these channels, these visions, these dreams, they are all interconnected. They all connect together somehow. There's some sort of link within each one, is what I'm understanding. And from what I gathered from it, I feel like that's accurate. So something is illusionary. And then I also understood something is also right on time. And I'm also seeing, I also saw an alarm clock, those old-fashioned alarm clocks. And this is one of those alarm clocks that you see, it's like a round little alarm clock, and it's got two little bells on the top with like a metal bar that attaches the two bells together. And when the alarm goes off, it goes crazy. It could even shake off the table. That's how crazy the alarm clock sounds. Okay, so I'm seeing this alarm clock with two bells on top of it, but I'm also seeing two sticks of dynamite on top of it. But they're unraveled from each other and they're falling off. They're not sticking together. So they're not, there's two sticks of dynamite and they're crossed. They're falling off. They're not tied properly. They're slipping off from one another, and they're sitting in between the bell and the alarm clock in different directions. So this could mean something is explosive, but it could also be symbolic. I saw 111 on my timer at that time in the message, and there is symbolism everywhere, right? Everything, it may not be like about actual dynamite. So this could imply two explosive circumstances, situations veering off from one another. And with the alarm clock, it could reference like sitting on a time frame. With the dynamite, going in different directions could be about separation of two people. It could be something about two places, like a separation of two places or things, differing stories, truths and untruths that are setting off alarm bells, like something is unraveling. And then when I was listening to my playback of my channel, because that's what I do, guys, for those of you that are new here, I would sometimes often record my channels and then later I will write it out, like my dreams and my channels, and later I will write it out. And on my playback, when I listened to this part of the story, I heard what sounded like a whipping sound. I don't know if you've ever had, I don't know what that toy is. There was a toy that I had when I was a kid, like maybe like that you would whip in the air and it would go. I was hearing like this type of sound, like a rope being whipped around. And this was in the background of my channel. It's like a rope or something making a whipping noise was evident in my channel. But I don't have anything in my room making that noise. I have no ceiling fans that can make that noise. There's nothing in my room that can make that noise. Okay, where I was recording. So that's kind of interesting. So that could be very relevant in regards to whatever this channel is leading to. I also saw a vision of a crate. It was like a wooden box. It was pretty large, not super large, but it was large enough. It could sit on top of a table. It was like those crates that you would have to use like a crowbar to open it up. And it's like filled with hay, and it might have fragile, like it might even have the word fragile across the side of it in brown letters, like a big stamp saying fragile. And then inside it, I'm seeing like it could be glassware or like vases that were once in it. And then like hay. This box was used for like transporting something fragile. There's something about that that's significant. I also, when I was seeing that, I also like saw, I feel like it's like a saw. It's a particular type of saw. A miter saw? I don't know. I don't know if that's relevant. I don't know that that's a thing. Miter saw? I'm not even sure. It's like a long saw and it's got little teeth. And like it's got a handle that could be electric. Like that you would hold and it would go zzz. I'm not sure what it's called, but I feel like it's called a miter saw. I could be wrong. Place it where it fits. If it fits, don't make it fit. Also, the vision of the animals driving the red truck. Something has snatched their bodies. The energy doesn't fit with their vessels. It's like something has taken them over. They're possessed. That's what I was getting from it. Like feline spirit, maybe the name, like feline could be significant, or something related to a feline could be significant. And like everybody has a signature imprint, right? Our energetic composure is an imprint of who we are, right? Like when you look at a lion, you know it's a lion. When you look at a tiger, you know it's a tiger. And I'm seeing this red truck and it looks brand new, but it's not. It's old. And on the exterior, it looks one way, but on the interior, it looks another way. Is significant. And I don't know why, but I'm fixated on seeing these two kids that I think are missing. I don't watch the news. I really haven't watched the news much since before I went away in college, which was in 1999. If I see news or if it comes up in my awareness, someone turns it on near me or something, I will hear it. But I don't go out of my way to watch it. I don't I feel like a lot of news is fabricated and I don't really trust it. But that's besides the point of what I'm trying to say, is I don't really follow the news. I don't really watch the news, and I don't go on social media all that much anymore. Actually, I hardly go on it at all. The only social media I post is on here. Although I do have accounts on Facebook and I have accounts on Instagram, and I have, I don't have accounts on TikTok. But I do have accounts on these other two platforms. And I've established business accounts on these platforms as well over the last decade or so that I've stopped posting on completely due to some circumstances that have shifted in my life, some pathways that have opened up to go somewhere else and change. Why I'm saying this is that on my phone, I still get notifications from these apps, even though I don't go on them all that much. I've essentially cut out a lot of people in my life, including family. Due to contracts and that just being nulled and broken. And because of this, I don't have a need to go on as much as I once did, or at least I felt like I once had. And I don't really care to go on these places because I just feel like it's a lot of doom and gloom and fighting going on, and I don't really enjoy that energy. It's just not conducive to my spirit and what I'm trying to do right now in my life. That could be relevant. But regardless, I don't go on these platforms very much. But when I do go on, it's usually because I was checking my messages in my on my phone, like what am I missing, what emails or whatever. And as I'm pulling down my messages, I get a notification from Facebook and I accidentally hit it, and then it opens up and I'm in Facebook. And this has happened on a few occasions over the past month or so. And every time it happens, I see some sort of article being posted about two kids missing, a girl and a boy. And I don't know why, but I'm fixated on them, meaning like a spirit keeps showing me a girl and a boy. They're showing me these articles that I've seen. I've not read them. I may have zoomed over a little bit of the headline. I found it very sad, and I wish the best for the outcome of the circumstance is when I see things like that. But every time I end up going on Facebook, that's what I see. And I believe they might be siblings. And again, I don't know much about the story. I know there's a mom and there's a man that I've seen posted, whether that's like the mom and the dad. I don't know. I'm assuming that's the mom and the dad. I don't know though. If the mom and the dad are speaking, I imagine if your kids are missing, it might be difficult to speak about. But you have to speak up. So I'm assuming that's the mom, definitely. And maybe the dad or a stepdad or something could be relevant. And I don't know if they've been found yet. So this reading could be about them, or in part, like all of this is related. But I don't know what's going to be expressed. Well, I know what's going to be expressed because I've already done the reading, but I'm going to be repeating what I have. And I don't know how it's relating to any of this. So if it is relating, then great and not so great. But anyways, I have seen the headlines. I know there is a mother. I believe that maybe she might be a single mom, or may have been a single mom, because I was showed me as a single mom. And like meeting somebody new. So maybe she's a single mom and then she met somebody new that could be relevant. I'm not sure if the man that I'm seeing in the pictures with her is the man she's with or the father of the kids. Maybe she's not a single mom. I'm just saying this is what spirit is showing me. Anyways, I feel like there is a separation in regards to the children's father. Okay, I feel like there is a separation in regards to this. I feel like that's relevant. And then I was reminded of my dreams that I've had with my daughter. And it's like we were trying to run to get away from that red truck with the two animalistic natures in it. And it was like this haunted feeling of not being able to protect my kid. Like, what if I can't protect my kid? And then I saw 3, 2, 1. And then something is going backwards. And then I heard there's an urgency to this post. And then I did the video and then it cut off right when I was trying to clarify some things. So now I'm going to get into what I had. So it'll be a little bit faster and I'll be able to get the message through a little bit quicker, I'm hoping, in regards to the amount of time I feel like we're good. So Spirit had me pull from this deck here, the Celtic Ogam alphabet. I've not used these cards before, but I got them. And the first cards that came out was the Frog and the Lotus, which is also from the Woodland, a deck that's not really my deck. I don't really use it. And this card's about metamorphosis. So something is coming into light, something is shifting and changing. And it's to do with communication coming in groves. So some sort of communication that's been coming in mass amounts in regards to this channel. And then there's something that's not clear with the fir tree in reverse. Time to start looking at the bigger picture. It's like there's a big picture being painted, but there's so much stuff being painted that it's very unclear now. And this is because there's so much wisdom and emotions that are coming in that are to resolve the situation that it's just overpowering it. And with the metamorphosis, it's like something is going to transpire out of this information. And that's what I get from this. And then I also pulled the Trout, the Lily, and the Valley, which is about purification. So something is coming up for purification. Something is coming up for truth to be known, to be seen, or to be understood. Because with the communication coming in groves and the clarity of it is in the reverse, I feel like the purification will come from this when it becomes upright, when something comes together. So we have with the U a transference of energy. So some sort of transference of energy that's coming up to be purified. And this is in the reverse. This is resourcefulness, something that wasn't resourceful. It's the gorse in reverse. So it's like somebody like to keep someone's not pursuing their goals. They're not pursuing something within reach. It's like they've stopped. Something is reversed. There's some sort of transference. It could be a transference of energy obtaining to getting these resources. So maybe financially speaking. Anyway, something is coming in for purification in regards to whatever this implies. Okay. And that's what I got from those two cards. Okay. Sorry, I have a lot of... I'm just trying to move these around so I can keep track with my brain. Now, I pulled some dice earlier as well. And I'm going to keep that video. I might post it later so you guys can see what happened in that video. But I got to post this one, I think, first. So when I did the dice, the Virgo dice flipped out of this. Now, this is a container that I dump all my dice in, and they usually stay contained, but this one just flew out, landed on the floor, and spun, and I've never had one of my dice do that. So a Virgo could be relevant. I am a Virgo. When I was looking at this dice, for some reason, I could not, for the life of me, make the identification of a symbol that I acknowledge as a representation of when I'm born. So I thought Pisces. And I thought, why am I seeing Pisces? I feel like this is Virgo, but I couldn't compute it. There was some sort of confusion in regard to it. So something is confusing in regard to this whole picture, in regards to this whole channel, like the whatever this message is that Spirit wants me to portray. There's something confusing about it. So Virgo is significant. This is somebody born between August 23rd and August 22nd. And this came in the... well, it spun around, so it could be all sorts of ways. I'm not going to say it's any way, actually. So we also have Pluto energy that came out, and this is all about birth, rebirth. This is all about transmuting or transformation. So with the metamorphosis card in regards to groves and the information that's being received, there's some sort of transformation that's occurring. There's somebody psychoanalyzing this information as well. That's very relevant in regards to this. So it's rebirthing from this information. a transformation to gain power and control of the circumstance. That's something that's very relevant in regards to the Pluto energy and in regards to a Virgo. We also have 2 dice that are all tied up. So 2 things are all tied up. Two sticks of dynamite that have lost, like these were separated, they weren't together, that were unraveled. Something's unraveling twice. Could be relating to 2 kids missing. I believe it's a boy and a girl in regards to what I've been seeing. Also, the pineal gland could be significant, or a pine cone is significant in regards to this channel as well. The pineal gland is the third eye, so it's what is seen and unseen, what you can see with your mind's eye rather than your physical eye. So it's the way that I obtain my messages sometimes, the way I get my visions and understandings, or just seeing something transpire, or having that dream and then having somebody come to my home. But also, like, I had a vision just before that would happen. So that is possible as well, like in regards to just foresight, seeing things. We have the 7th house here, and this is all about relationship. This could be a marriage. This could be just any relationship. It could be unity, lawsuits, intimate connections or contracts, quarrels, separation, compromise, and divorce, and also harmony. So what I'm getting from this is also significant with a Libra. Libra energy is significant with the 7th house. So Libra could be anybody born between September 23rd, October 22nd. Now, with any astrology sign, you don't have to be born in the specific dates to have these in your charts. They could be throughout your chart. So I'm not going into the astrology of this. I'm just specifically stating these signs that are coming up in regards to what I tossed in the dice. But if that's relevant for you, you might want to check your placements in regards to this. So we've got Libra as well, and this is to do with the 7th house in the relationship. So we have Virgo in regards to transformation, taking power and control and psychoanalyzing things. And then we have the 7th house with the Libra, something about a relationship. And then we have the 1st house, which is an Aries. So somebody born between March 21st and April 19th could be relevant in regards to the 1st house, which is all about individuality. This is the way somebody is seen in their self-image, the way that they accept themselves, the way they portray themselves. This is having expectations. This is the environment in which that they're trying to portray themselves within. There's motivations and there's impressions that are brought up with the person's natural homeostasis. That's relevant in regards to this message. So those are the cards that came up at the beginning of the channel. So I'll place those aside as well. Now, I'm just going to show you the cards that came up, and then I'm going to go over the clarifying cards, which is the cards I was not able to complete during the message. So the first card that came up is the 3 of Cups. And the 3 of Cups represents bounty. This represents like good things in life. What it's giving is some sort of like blessing was bestowed and trusted, but it was unreliable. That's what it's giving. And then we have the 5 of Cups as well. And the 5 of Cups is what's influencing this 3 of Cups. So it's this sort of ending, this grievous energy, this ending. And in particularly with the 5 of Cups, what I'm seeing is like an unexpected experience, an unexpected disturbance occurred, causing an end. And this unexpected experience, this disturbance that's causing an end, has something to do with a bounty and something to do with the good things in life, or the experience of what we perceive as the good things in life, as being unreliable. And this leads to a 7 of Discs. And this is all about abandoned, unprofitable I'm just going to leave it at that word, and unprofitable, and then promises unfulfilled. There's some sort of unfulfilled promises here in regards to this unexpected disturbance, something to do with a bounty, something that was enjoyed but was very unreliable, and this led to promises unfulfilled. Now, do I want to clarify those now? I'll clarify that after. Sorry, I'm toying with clarifying it now. Okay, when I clarified the 5 of Cups and the 3 of Cups, so some sort of disturbance that influenced some sort of ending in regards to something enjoyed is now unreliable. And it was clarified by a Knight of Swords in the reverse. And the Knight of Swords in reverse, I'm just going to get my deck here, is a warrior. It's a forceful, straightforward person. There could be, they could be very courageous. They could have the capacity to defend. They're very dexterous, hostile. They have hostility and anger. Like, they are very feisty, fiery energy. They can be opposition, and they could be very destructive and create ruin. And this is in, oh, my sun's up, 1 second here. Sorry about that. So the Knight of Swords in reverse can be somebody that's like tactless or impulsive. They're rushing. They're self-righteous. They could be arrogant. They could be very angry and hostile already as is. So in the reverse, just quadruple that energy. Maybe interrupting, overbearing type of energy here is what we're getting with the Knight of Swords in the reverse. This is very much a warrior energy, and this is somebody who's in emotions here. They're in high emotions here. Okay, so that's clarifying the 5 of Cups, 3 of Cups energy, which is the influencing energy that's currently occurring that leads to abandonment, unprofitable abandonment, and the promises that are unfulfilled. Now, in the past, we have the 6 of Discs, and this is coming in underneath the 3 of Discs, okay? So the 6 of Discs is some sort of transitory situation. It's, in the deck, it describes it like as this dream-like state that's transitory, but I'm taking it into the context of what I've come upon here in my channel and in my visions with the lion and the tiger and the red truck predator type energy, something from the past, like an old neighborhood from the past, an old space from the past. Like for me, this old space was where I lived with my children's father, who I separated from and became a single mom with 2 kids, 2 young children, a 2-month-old and a almost 4.5-year-old, I guess, at the time. So that's relevant. The past and becoming a single mom is relevant. So this could be the transitory situation. But I also heard the word illusionary. Something is illusionary, and that's what I get with this 6 of Discs. It's like somebody's in this transitory state, but it's an illusion that they have created, or that they're believing about this bounty, about these like beautiful things that are happening in their life. It's like this person comes in when maybe they're in postpartum depression when they became a single mom. That could be relevant. And maybe they went through a bad breakup. Maybe there was something terrible that happened in there that caused them to be traumatized. Maybe a lot of things happen abusively, emotionally abusively, that caused this person to be in the state that anything good coming to them beyond it would be like, whoa, I'm in this dream, like, wow, things are great, right? But I feel like this circumstance is very unreliable with the Three of Cups, and being that the Five of Cups is influencing it. And it's an unexpected end, and it's very disturbing, the unexpected end to this. And this transitory dream-like energy is actually a nightmare, is what this is giving. And then we have, and so this is a person, because we have the Knight of Swords in reverse, right? So this Five of Cups, Three of Cups is a person. This is somebody that he's met in a circumstance that somebody has met. Now, we have change coming with the Two of Discs, and this is right underneath the Five of Cups. Now, the Two of Discs is all about, like, I want to say like an ebb and flow of energy. It's like if you're very strong one minute and then the next minute you're portraying very weak. You can be very happy and then very sad, very anxious and then very depressed. It's like two spectrums of energies coming in very like sporadically. And that's what's influencing, that's what's caused this unexpected disturbance, is this energy here, or has become because of this unexpected disturbance. It's like nothing is stable in regards to somebody's demeanor, in regards to their individuality, which is very relevant. How somebody holds themselves, how somebody's speaking about themselves, how they're coming across is very relevant, because they're not stable in the way that they're being portrayed or the way they're portraying themselves. And this could be maybe the mom of the two kids missing, maybe the father, maybe they're coming across, or maybe somebody in relation to that circumstance, or the people in the truck, the two animals in the truck, the predatory type energy, the lion and the tiger, that don't really fit the mold. They don't fit energetically in the car, and they don't fit energetically in their vessel, is what it looks like to me. And it looks like there's some sort of possession occurring in this insatiable need to like eat my kid, or like chase my kid, or attack my kid, is what that felt like in that dream. And then we have the Five of Discs, and this comes in underneath this unfulfilled promises. And the Five of Discs is intense strain from this continued inaction. The unfulfilled promises, the abandoned experience of it all. It's unprofitable. It's beneath me. I can't move forward doing this anymore. And this is becoming very strenuous on somebody. This experience, this is future energy, but it's a very strenuous energy. It's very strenuous on a lot of fronts. There's a lot of communication coming through in groves from different sources. Like this could be relevant to these two children missing. There's probably a lot of information coming from the neighbors, and then the family members, and then the external family members. I don't know if there's two dads in the mix, but maybe there's the father and then a stepfather. Then there's that energy, and then the encompassing energy of it is all very relevant in regards to the communication coming through. And I feel like there's something that's not clear that's going to be made clear here. We have the Knight of Discs, which is the current energy, and the Knight of Discs is this is like a slow-moving energy, and this is preoccupied with material things, material affairs, buying a house, having financial gain, having some sort of business, some sort of investment. This is what the Knight of Discs is about. It's about cultivating 3D physical things, right? But this is also clarified by the Hermit card, I believe, when I clarified this one. Let me see here. Yeah. So the Knight of Pentacles was clarified by the Hermit card. And I'll read you the Hermit card here. So the Hermit, so the Knight of Pentacles being, also there's some sort of sobering understanding in regards to the collection of understanding materialistic things that have been acquired. There's something sobering that is coming into formation, and this is what's making the Hermit energy. I'm sorry, I'm covering it with my big fingers here. The Hermit energy that's coming through, and I'm going to read off the thing what the Hermit represents here. So upright, this represents introspection. So looking inward, seeking awareness within oneself, inner reflection, and a reevaluation. So this is what's going on for this Knight of Pentacles energy. They're having to reevaluate. This could be a cop. This could be somebody that is helping the situation at hand and trying to clarify and confirm things. Now, in the environment, we have the Queen of Swords. I hope my phone doesn't shut off. It's gotten dark for some reason. So, anywho, I hope it doesn't. So, Queen of Swords here is in the environment. And this energy and this particular card is showing up as cold and as frigid. And I think this is about the individuality and how somebody comes across. And again, like with the ebbs and flow of like being really happy and then being very sad and then being anxious and very depressed and then being very high and very low. This is what this energy is. And this is coming in underneath this energy as well as some unexpected disturbance. So this could very well be the mother if it's to do with the two missing children, or a mother in regards to the whole dynamic of whatever this channel is. Regardless, she is coming across as somebody who's hypocrisy. So somebody that, what did I see with that word? Let me look it up here. Yeah, like coming across as insincere or like a, hold on here. Yeah, somebody coming across as very false in their experience, like they're not showing their true self in it. There's something that's shifty in the energy here. And also with this card, particularly that's kind of rising up today, is there's this breaking free. At the beginning of the reading, of the other reading before it cut out, when I got this card, I heard off with their head. And you see she's holding a head. So with this, it's like breaking free from shackles that prevented someone from doing what they wanted. And that's what this energy is. It's breaking free from some sort of restriction, some sort of embodiment that you can't get out of. There's some sort of breaking free from it. And that's what this is representing. And this is underneath change. So place that where it fits. When I go to clarify her, what happened was the Magician threw out in the reverse. And this is like the ability to create, to manifest, to all things magical, but it's in the reverse. So it's utilized for the negative. So this could be illusions. Illusionary came up. This is projections. And I feel like this is illusions and projections. And I feel like the illusions are casted to create this Nine of Swords, which represents death, to look like it's not. So that's what came out in regards to her. There's some sort of facade happening here that's in the dark, that's creating this to look a certain way. And that's what I got from this. Now, the emotions, what flew out was the Five of Swords with the Princess of Discs, as well as the Ace of Cups. And I interpret this as the Five of Swords is a humiliation spirit. This is like holding on to something until your last breath so that nobody finds out. Like, it's not wanting anybody to know what has occurred. This is really holding up in some sort of despair of some situation, not wanting the truth to be revealed. But with the Princess of Discs, this is usually showcasing a sensual woman. This is showcasing somebody who's very creative, somebody who has the ability to grow, who's very like fertile, pregnant in life. But it can also be in a darker viewpoint, because the Five of Swords is coming up and there's humiliation spirit. It can also be this incessant need to seduce or to create some sort of discord or illusion in regards to a circumstance to create a favorable outcome, which is essentially happiness. And that's what the ace, it's like an opportunity for happiness. So something has been, if they're in their emotions, this is in the emotions. So this person is in their emotions, and I think it's the Queen of Swords who's in their emotions in regards to a Knight of Swords in reverse. And the reason why I'm saying that is because the Knight of Swords actually came out twice. It clarified the Five of Cups influencing the Three of Cups, but it also came out at the end of the reading as the outcome. And before I get to that, I clarified the emotional energy. So the Five of Swords with the Princess of Discs and the Ace of Cups was clarified with the Five of Wands and the King of Cups. And the Five of Wands is essentially imitation, simulation, strenuous competition, confronting rage with calm. So, but the King of Cups is somebody who is emotional. Their embodiment is very passionate. It's very charismatic, and in this deck at least. And there's also a need for self-control. Yeah, that's the right card. I just want to make sure I'm seeing that correctly. So it's a person of power. They're closed to their own emotions. So it's like their emotions are closed off. If you see this deck, he's looking down, he's looking salty, right? And then you have the Five of Wands there where they're fighting like an angel. It's like they're fighting these lies, this discord. They're trying to keep up this persona. But the reality of it is they have a grumpy demeanor. They're hiding a tender nature. And they're favorably disposed to the current, this particular card when it comes out, and the current being the Knight of Pentacles. So what's being sowed in regards to the information in the groves of information that is in the reverse in regards to the clarity of it. So this is to do with the clarity of the message that's being produced in regards to the circumstance. And that's clarifying the emotional component of this reading. And then the end result is the Knight of Swords that's in reverse. Excuse me. And that's clarified by the Tower. Oh, and look at that. 1234. 1234. June 3rd. It's 12:34 a.m. on June 3rd. So the Knight of Swords in reverse, again, somebody that is tactless, impulsive, they're rushing, they're angry, they're self-righteous, they're arrogant, okay? And they're maybe even an unscrupulous man in this deck. They're an unscrupulous man. They could be somebody who mocks people. They have an unwillingness to take responsibility, unwillingness to also understand their ability to understand emotions. And because of this inability to understand emotions, they also have this inability to understand the moral capacity to cut something down or to shut it off or to say no or to stop. There is no ability to do so, and that's what this King of Knight of Swords that has come out twice in this reading today. And this Knight of Swords is gaining a tower. This Knight of Swords is gaining a tower. And the Tower is something catastrophic. This is crisis. This is destruction. This is it could be a small personal apocalypse to really tremendous unforeseen change. And I'm going to leave it at that. I think I got all the bases done that I tried to get in the first video. And I do want to leave off with a prayer today. I did start the last one with a prayer. And I'm just going to where is it? A prayer to Saint Michael. Saint Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle. Be our safeguard against the wickedness and snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray, and do you. O Prince of the heavenly host, by the power of God cast into hell Satan and all the evil spirits who wander through the world seeking the ruin of souls. Amen. I'm going to leave it there. That's the reading, guys. That's the channel. Until next time, take care.